Choke. Super Nauk.
We're leaving that in. That was sick. That makes me look tough. All right.
3, 2, 1.
Hey, yo. What's up, everyone? It's Top 10 Tuesday. We're recording this on a Monday, so it's a little weird. We're recording this on the 4th of July. So happy 4th to those who are celebrating. Today, obviously joined by Michael again. It's a big game. This is game 6. Michael's a 3-2 lead going into this week. If he wins, I will face punishment next week. If I win this week, we will have a pivotal game 7, which will be a very important decision on what our category will be. But today, in accordance with the holiday, we are doing top 10 Americans. Michael, how you feeling? It's 4th of July. You feeling patriotic today?
Feeling very patriotic. You know, there's nothing like waking up hungover on the 4th of July.
Exactly. As we both are. How do you feel about your list?
I feel pretty confident about it. I think I have some 10 great Americans, both females, males, all different aspects of the society, you know, very diverse list in terms of different types of people. And so, yeah, pretty confident.
Do you want who went first last week? Do we flip a coin?
I have no idea who went first last week.
Let's flip a coin. We'll flip my phone. Heads, tails.
Tails.
Tails. Oh, tails it is.
Love tails.
Good answer. All right, you can choose. You can defer, and I can go first, or you can go first.
I'm gonna defer.
Okay.
One second.
I will go first then. These
Yeah.
are my top 10 Americans. A little insight on how I made my list. I really wanted people that encapsulated what it means to be an American. I think you could add like Americans who are very accomplished, but that has nothing to, they could do those same accomplishments if they weren't American. So like I wanted people who are accomplished Americans, and being American is part of their identity. So my number 10 American of all time, it's a guy you've probably heard of. Most of you have heard of. A guy by the name of George Washington, but in parentheses, it's only the good parts. So the reason he's not higher on my list is there are some stuff that he might have done, you know, owned some slaves, you know, may not have been the best person. But you also can't ignore some of the great things he did. He was first president. But again, he would be higher on my list if it weren't for the other stuff. So this is only the good parts in parentheses on the graphic. I'll make sure that happens. Well, I mean, he's number 1. He's El Presidente numero uno. You can't deny that. It's what it means to be American. Every kid grows up knowing who George Washington is. Every kid in America knows that. And I think that's a pretty big part of just our history. So I think you have to put him at number 10. I'm assuming he's either on your list or was thought of to be on your list, but I'm sticking with George Washington at number 10.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty nice. He may or may not be on my list as well, but definitely a great guy. Did some great things for the country. So my number 10, kind of similar to that time period. I don't know if it was before or after. I don't know. I wasn't a history major, but this guy, Benjamin Franklin. Yeah, he did some things. He did the whole experiment with the kite. Learn about that when you're young, you know, pretty much invented electricity in a sense, which I think is a pretty cool thing. I mean, you're using it right now. I'm using it right now. And I know I kind of made my list with influence on America and how it is today, but also just influence on the world in general, to where, you know, if they did something great, America as a whole would be happy to claim them as an American, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of how I based off my list. And so I think, you know, Ben Frank doing the whole electricity thing, some other great inventions, household name. He's on the $100 bill for a reason.
Facts.
So yeah, that's why he's number 10 on my list.
Is that whole key and kite thing like a legit thing? Did he actually do that?
I mean, personally, I wasn't there, so I do not know.
I wasn't there either. Yeah.
Okay. We should ask somebody that was there.
Yeah, I'll reach out. I'll DM some people, see if they were there.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure someone. I mean, it's probably written down somewhere or something.
Yeah, but that is a crazy thing to do. Just go.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't think of
like,
that. I don't think I've ever flown a kite in my life, let alone create electricity from fucking flying a kite. So I don't know, you know.
Yeah, I flew my first kite at the age of 20, and it was awesome. It was really fun.
What's the
I lost my kite
what's the
virginity.
backstory?
I never flew a kite before, and then all of a sudden, an assistant tennis coach found out that I didn't fly a kite or haven't flown a kite before, and he bought me a kite. So I went out and flew it in my backyard, and I had the most fun I had all summer. It was great. I was just out there flying a kite. It wasn't even windy. I was just running around. I was winded so fast, but it was awesome. It was really cool.
Nice.
It's a fun experience. Good pick. I like Ben Franklin. Good guy. Not on my list. Spoiler alert. But my number 9 pick is also an influence pick. This is someone who has influenced a lot, more modern day influence. I mean, if Ben Franklin had a podcast back in the day, it'd probably be similar to this person's. My number 9 is Alexandra Cooper from the host of Call Her Daddy. I think we can't underestimate the mass influence that she had. I know she had a co-host for a while, but she's gone. So we're going to focus just on Alex Cooper. I mean, she changed the game. She's irreverent. You know, she talks about stuff that a lot of people don't want to talk about. And she was very open about it. And I think a lot of people learned a lot of methods, techniques, you know, stuff.
Would you like to explain some of those?
Nah, I'll let her do the explaining. She's good at it.
Okay.
So go listen to Call Her Daddy, shameless plug. Friends the program, Call Her Daddy.
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously, I think she's the only podcaster I have on my list. So there's that. I think
Well, I have you on my list, so
yeah, well, yeah, but I'm more than that. I'm like more of a media mogul. So if you wanted to include me, that's fine. Yeah, I think I mean, Call Her Daddy is like it has a large reach for both male and female. So it's a good universally loved thing. So I'll give a slight edge to them over all other podcasters. So I'm going to Call Her Daddy, Alexandra Cooper at number 9.
awesome. Okay, yeah. So my number 9 is kind of the first non-political figure inventor thing. Well, I guess you could call him an inventor, but this might be a little recency bias after seeing the movie. Elvis Presley.
Damn, it's a good pick.
It's a good pick. Thank you.
Good pick.
Not only the king of rock and roll, everything like that, but I think that movie kind of showed that he did a lot more for the country than people I think originally, or at least what I originally thought before I saw the movie, in terms of not only like kind of helping that bridge the gap between African American and everybody else back in the day when it was kind of some turmoil there. But yeah, and then also just kind of being himself and portraying that on a nationwide stage, like kind of how he did. He was kind of just revolutionary, and that's why he's on my list. I think the music industry would not be the same without him, and I think the country would not be the same without him.
It's a good pick. Question. So when I had George Washington on my list, I put in parentheses only the good parts. Some people may point out, they're like, I'm trying to help you here. Some people are like, hey, Michael, what are your thoughts on Elvis possibly dating or maybe even grooming a 14-year-old when he was away at war and eventually marrying her and starting dating her when she was 14? What are your thoughts on that? I just want you to get ahead of that.
Yeah, I guess mainly the good parts, but I think
you can keep it in. If you like that part, you can keep it in.
I'm only, and for my parentheses, only the really bad parts. Because I think the only slightly bad parts, like his crazy drug addiction and everything like that, that's part of it. I think that's part of it. You live and you learn, and people learn from Elvis, everything like that. So I think some of the bad parts is part of it, and you gotta. Not everybody's perfect, right?
Yeah.
So I think you gotta kind of live with it, and some of the bad parts, like that age factor and everything like that. That is definitely something that's not part of it and part of why I picked it. But some of the other bad parts, like the drugs and everything, yeah.
All right, so we'll put it. So for the graphics' sake, we'll put only the really.
I'll send you a
minus. Yeah. You let me know how you want to phrase it, but I just want to get your opinions on that.
I know you would try to you'll try to skew it in a way.
No, I don't make the graphics. I'm unbiased. I don't make the graphics.
Help you can get at this point, but yeah. Okay.
Pull back the curtain. I don't make the graphics. It's not on me. We have an unbiased party. Make the That's a fact. Look it up. Look it up. I haven't made the graphics in weeks. In weeks. You're just mad that I won last week. It's fine. It's a good pick.
I'm not mad.
You did claim cheating.
I'm sorry. I'm like letting
You
you
claimed
win.
that I cheated last week when I just beat you fair and square. You can't cheat on a Twitter poll.
You did kind of.
That's the most democratic way to decide anything. A Twitter poll.
Mm.
And I won fair and square. But anyways, whatever. Beside the point. It's a good pick.
Next time I a Twitter poll, you could set up an electoral college to pick the.
All right, we'll set up next for season 2. We'll put them in electoral college vote. Even I would argue Twitter poll's more democratic than that. But anyways,
it's a joke about how.
Anyways, good pick. My number 8. This is kind of a callback to last week when we did superpowers, and I had on my list being a mom. That's a great superpower. Moms are great. We all love moms. This is one where like you got to be able to live in the background sometimes. Sometimes you let your children do all the influence, and sometimes the best part about you is your kids and what you leave on your legacy. And so that's why I have a very important mom in American history, possibly the most important mom in American history on our list, on my list, and that would be Heidi Dimiglio. So for those of you who don't know who Heidi is, she has 2 daughters, Charlie and Dixie. TikTok sensations. Arguably, they're the first family of TikTok. And no one can argue that TikTok isn't possibly the biggest thing of the 21st century. It has changed the music industry. It's changed the gaming industry. It's changed the way people conceive media is changed because of TikTok. And these 2 girls, Charlie and Dixie, are at the forefront of it. And they are not here without the work of Heidi. So I'm going to give Heidi the props here as my number 8 American of all time. And I think that's going to age very well. I think 20 years back, people are going to look back. Maybe I underrated her. Maybe Heidi should be even higher. But as of right now, she's number 8 on my top Americans.
You know, I was kind of confused when you're setting that one up before you said it was Heidi, of where you're going with that. And now it just makes a lot more sense because I was expecting, I don't know, she was a famous mom. I don't know, Michelle Obama or another like famous mom. I don't know, maybe like the George
That'd be
Washington
a famous wife.
I thought you were gonna say like
Martha
George
Washington
mother, or Barack Obama's mom, or like George Washington's mom, or something like that. But the way you went with that is very on par with the rest of your list these past 5-6 weeks. So
winners. You meaning winning lists?
Okay.
Yeah. No. Just as long as we're on the same page, cool.
Okay. Yeah. So I guess I kind of took a more serious route with this top 10. I try to really highlight top 10 Americans in, I guess, my opinion.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. I'm not serious. It's fine.
No, I'm just saying, like, I don't want to, I don't think it's I'm not trying to disrespect Heidi by any means. I just think
sounds like you are.
I think 10 other people maybe deserve a little bit more in terms of what they did for the country more than Heidi Dimiglio. But it was cool that she gave birth to 2 amazing people.
That's the point of this show. But to debate. But okay, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. My number 8 is Walt Disney.
Another controversial pick.
He's the founder of Disney. I know, and it's controversial.
What?
I would say he did more for this country than Heidi, specifically by I don't know, maybe like creating like fucking Disney. I think that's kind of a lot of stuff. Starting in a garage too. I don't know if that's real or not. That's probably fake. I wouldn't be surprised if that shit was all made up. But he did do some bad stuff, and that's why it's only the good parts of it. But still, I mean, his lasting legacy that he created this amazing company that has, I mean, Disney owns fucking everything nowadays. And he kind of started it, and he's kind of the founding father of it. And so that's why I think he deserves to be on the list.
Yeah, no, that's a good pick. I mean, I just looked it up on TikTok. Obviously, Disney, huge company. It's got 3.5 million followers on TikTok, and I'm sure that's somewhat similar to Charlie. Hudson, back there, can you confirm? Does Charlie have more or less than 3.5 million followers on TikTok?
Last time I checked, I think she has maybe just a little bit more.
Just a little bit more. Yeah, I thought so. So it's a good pick, Mike.
I think even Heidi has more followers.
Yeah, Heidi might have more. But combined, the whole family is because of Heidi. But no, that's a good pick, Mike.
I mean, Heidi birthed.
Hey, it takes 2 to tango in that whole kid making thing. All right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Shout out to Mark too. Mark just missed my list. He was probably number
And
11.
I am connected with Mark on LinkedIn. That is a shameless plug. I am connected with Mark Dimiglio on LinkedIn. So
Heidi commented on one of my TikToks. She gave me a heart emoji. So shout out to
That's-
her. Yeah. I can't be bought. I
that's
can't
probably
be
her
bought.
team, not her, but yeah.
Yeah. That's
Um,
fair. All right.
yeah.
My number 7. I would argue one of the most underrated aspects of being American is just the freedom to laugh, to ha, to chuckle, to riff with the boys. Sometimes you just got to sit back and have a good belly laugh. And no one delivers those laughs more than a Mr. Dave Chappelle. I would argue the greatest comedian to ever live, at least of the 21st century. Again, very modern list so far. It's what I live, so I can only speak from experience. But Dave Chappelle, I wanted to put a comedian on here because, again, laughter is it's important. It's important part of life, and it is the fuel. Is the fuel of the fire of life, as some might say. So I think Dave Chappelle, best comedian ever, got to put on the list. Number 7, American of all time.
Okay, and with that, are you kind of doing just the good parts, or are you adding kind of
All of it.
his
All of it.
transphobic and homophobic remarks in his last Netflix?
But I think that's part of being American.
Part of it? Okay.
You can mess up. That's not that's not a real bad. That's not a real bad.
Transphobic and homophobic parts of his comedy special is also in the graphic, right?
Yeah. So you're trying to bait me here. You're baiting.
No, I'm not trying to bait you. I'm just saying if you do the only good parts for George Washington.
No, similar to Elvis. I think.
Okay.
Yeah, and Walt Disney had some controversial.
Walt Disney was a horrible man.
Yes, great point, Hudson. Walt Disney was not a great man.
Heidi Dimiglio, you hear anything about her though?
Nothing
She
about
stays
Heidi.
out of that limelight.
It's facts.
yet.
Anyways, I would say once again, the point of these lists, this is top 10 Americans. It doesn't say top 10 best Americans or best people. These are just top 10 Americans. So these, like, people forget I had a top 10 people list last.
I think that just proves my point in general.
Expound on that, please.
What do you mean? Top 10 Americans, and you're putting people like Heidi Dimiglio and fucking Dave Chappelle in there?
Yes,
I don't know. Okay.
All right, but anyways, as I was saying, you take the good with the bad, you take the bad with the good. That's a holistic person. Dave Chappelle's, yes, he's made mistakes. Do I agree with everything he does? No, 100%. And I shouldn't. That's our right as American to disagree with each other civilly. And I enjoy that part. And I think Dave Chappelle has sparked a lot of good and done a lot of created a lot of discussion and also created a lot of laughs, which is an undervalued good in this society, being able to laugh and have a good ha. And I'm going to put Dave Chappelle at number 7.
And one would say a right as being American is to have a good time.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry. Yeah.
So am I your number 6?
That was a pun. So my number 7, right?
Yeah.
7.
Yeah.
My number 7 is, you already said this man, George Washington. He would be higher on the list, but with the whole parentheses, he did have some bad parts. That's why he's kind of knocked down 6 people. But he was founding father of our country. We wouldn't be a country damn near without that man. So he still, I feel like, has to be on the list. He still makes the cut. Still a great dude. Obviously had some problems back in the day, but I think a lot of people had those similar problems back in the day. George Washington, the non-slave owning parts.
I like it. I like that. Good pick. So we're going back to back repeats here because my number 6 is someone you have already said, and that's a Mr. Elvis Presley.
Okay.
I had Elvis as number 6. Again, we might be having recency bias here because we both watched this movie together. And I'll just use this time, since you already talked about Elvis, to talk about the movie. So first of all, tune into Battle Flicks. We talk about a little bit more there, and we're going to talk about more this week. But anyways, I think Austin Butler will win Best Actor for his role. I think he killed it. I think it's an incredible movie. Baz Luhrmann is what it is. You got to expect that type of movie from him. It's like kind of tacky directorial style. But anyways, I think it works. I think it works in this kind of biopic, kind of flash. That's Elvis's life is the way he directs. So it kind of fits the vibe. It's an incredible movie. Go watch it. Go see it in theaters. Support your local theaters because they need it. And we're trying to get that revival. I love it. Top Gun's busting out. You got Jurassic World or whatever. Not a good movie, but still bringing people in. The Minions are going crazy right now. The Rise of Gru, baby. Yeah. So movies, just go support movies. Go watch Elvis. It's a great movie. But yeah, Elvis Presley as my number 6.
All right, yeah, good pick. He's on my list, so I'm not going to complain about that. My number 6 is Miss Harriet Tubman.
Mm.
She obviously did some crazy things in the Underground Railroad. She took over 15 trips across state borders to help free slaves, which is honestly incredible. And I think she's kind of not a founding father, but she's a founding father of that civil rights movement, of kind of the end to slavery in a sense.
A founding mother.
Founding mother, yeah, I guess. Founding mother, founding
a core member.
goddess.
Goddess. Okay.
Founding goddess. What?
Yeah, no, I like that. I like goddess.
Yeah. Founding queen. I like that too. Queen. Yeah.
Queen.
Pop off queen. Some might say. But yeah, I mean, she saved over 300 people, which think about that back in the day. You know, those people are having kids of their own, and think about how many people have been tied nowadays to Harriet Tubman, you know, freeing their ancestors. Probably a lot more than you think. So it really does expand and stuff like that. And yeah, I think she's got to be on there. I think she's done crazy things. I haven't heard anything really bad about her, Harriet Tubman. I don't think she was a bad person by any means. She lived her life to help, and that's amazing and patriotic as a whole.
I like it. I like a good pick. She just missed the cut for me. She was thrown out there as I was trying to put this list together, but overall, great person, Harriet Tubman. I like that.
I would say Heidi Dimiglio have freed a couple more slaves than Harriet Tubman, but it's close. Yeah,
it's close. It's close. Little, yeah. I mean, it's tomato. You know. My number 5, I would say, arguably the best person on all my lists. There's no complaints. No one has a bad word to say about this man. He's lived 9 lives. He's done it all. He's seen the world. He's traveled the world. He's influenced a lot of people. And just, I think we sometimes we can not appreciate a good character and someone who just has good morals and good values. And that would be Mr. Forrest Gump from the hit movie. Not Tom Hanks, but Forrest Gump, the character. Again, he's lived it all. He's an Olympian, gold medalist, ping pong, did all the other stuff. He's like a war veteran, football star. He's done it all. He's lived it all. He's lived a billion lives, and we can all strive to live life with the core values that Forrest Gump has. So I think Forrest Gump is a top 5 American of all time. Just cracked the top 5.
Run, Forrest, run.
Run, baby.
That's a good segue into my number 5 in terms of running, because this is the only athlete on my list. Yeah, that's a good segue. It kind of works out well that way. Jackie Robinson.
Oh,
I thought he was going Jesse.
I thought you were going a little J.O. there.
No.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, Jackie Robinson, not only what he did for the sport of baseball and I think sports in America, but also what he was doing for kind of being the first kind of big like African-American athlete in baseball, or really in sports in general, kind of being that trailblazer for what has, led to an incredible, amount of that of presence and, sports around the country nowadays. And so I think without him, it'd be a lot different. And there's a reason there's a fucking Jackie Robinson Day in the MLB every year, because he had that big of an impact on the game. And I think when anybody looks to the number 42, you think of Jackie Robinson personally. But so yeah, I think he's the top 5 American, not only what he did for the sport, but what he did for the country as a whole during that time. Yeah. And definitely check out the movie if you haven't seen it, 42.
Great movie. No, yeah, 42. I think of either Jackie Robinson or Max Kleber for the Dallas Mavericks.
Okay.
Yeah, one of those two. Great pick. Again, oversight on my part. I oversight. I didn't think of Jackie Robinson. That's a good pick. It's a good pick. And I will applaud a good pick when I see it. Who do you think wins in a race, Jackie Robinson or Forrest Gump?
Probably Forrest Gump.
Just got it. I think long distance Forrest wins.
Yeah, maybe around the bases.
Yeah, like 90 feet, maybe give the edge to Jackie. But you're going.
I don't think he's running. I think Forrest is running past the bases. He's not turning to second.
Yeah, he can't turn. He doesn't have that lateral quickness.
Yeah.
It'd be close. I want to see them in a combine against each other. That'd be interesting.
That'd be I think difficult to set up, but I applaud you.
Got some burners.
What'd you say, Heidi?
Forrest Gump's got some burners. I don't know if Jackie Robinson can keep up.
I mean, it's an underrated part. I mean, he runs a lot, but he's also quick with it.
You know what I want to see?
What do you want to see?
I don't want to see him run bases or anything. I think that's an easy advantage for Jackie Robinson.
Yeah, neutral site.
The hot dog, mustard, and relish.
Yeah, where they run around the whole thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's still similar to running bases in terms of the angle.
But it's one long little crescent. And it'd be good for the Good for
Do
whatever.
they have to do it in costume?
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay, well, I think you put Jackie in a mustard costume, he would destroy. But I think Jackie in ketchup, it could be close.
Yeah, but you put Forrest Gump in relish.
Oh, Forrest Gump and relish. Did not think about that one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
God, so many opportunities.
Yeah, that'd be. Hey, we gotta set that up. We'll make maybe a good time. We'll sponsor that race if we make that happen. What are we at? Number 4?
Yeah, you're on
Alright.
4, I think.
My number 4. It's very similar to my number 5, actually. American folk film hero. Arguably the greatest boxer to ever live. One of the greatest American. It's Rocky Balboa. I don't have much else to say about it. I mean, that dude's a fighter. He's the he is the American dream. You work hard enough for something, you will achieve it. You get knocked down, you get back up. You get knocked down again, you get back up again. That's what Rocky taught us. And those movies came around at a time when we needed it. We needed some American spirit, and he really galvanized the country, grabbed the country by the balls and said, "Get on my back. Let's do this together." And the country kind of united over Rocky. So I don't think that can be overstated. So shout out to Rocky Balboa. Yo, Adrian, we did it. Other quotes from the movie that I can't think of right now, but insert them here. Yeah, shout out to Rocky. Go, Adrian. You can go.
Hey. Not gonna hate too much on that pick. But my number 4 is, I think, a very turn of, I would say, a complete 180 from Rocky Balboa. I would say FDR, Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Mainly because I didn't really, until I did some research on what he did, I didn't really think he did too much. Like, you always hear about him, you always, hear about him, like, being the president and stuff. You memorize him, list of the presidents. But you don't really know about what he does unless you really paid attention to history class.
True.
Which I didn't.
Sorry, Hazel Horse.
But he was pretty much the president that kind of ended the Great Depression in America. That's what I learned. And I was like, that's pretty sick. Because when you think of the Great Depression, that was probably like fucking like depressing.
Not chill. Totally.
Yeah,
not
that was
chill.
not chill. I was not chill. Like, not patriotic, not chill at all.
Yeah.
And then for him to just be the kind of the guy that gets America through it,
Chill.
fucking great work, dog. Like,
Super
great
chill.
work.
Yeah.
Like, I definitely think he's top 5 for that. Like, yeah. And then he also established Medicare and Medicaid. Like, that's pretty sick. That's still being used today. Like, that's some great things that he did for this country. That is still, like, I mean, there's a reason people still talk about him today. There's a reason, you learn about him in history class. There's a reason he should be in the top 5.
Yeah. There is something to say about like a good initials. Like FDR, like, just rolls off the tongue. That's cool.
Yeah.
Like, to go by FDR, to go by your full initial.
It's like the JFK type.
Yeah,
thing.
JFK, like, similar thing. It's like, if it just sounds cool, you will be cool by association.
Terrell
Yeah.
Owens, T.O.
Yeah, even using the middle initial in a name,
It's hard. It's
it
hard.
either works very well or
Doesn't.
it's gross. But like,
Yeah.
even like Stephen A. Smith sounds sick, way better than Stephen Smith.
Like Wyatt Allen Metzger.
Yeah, like Wyatt A. Metzger doesn't work. You can't
Yeah.
say that. It
Wham.
doesn't. Yeah, it is sick. I suppose wham, but anyways, yeah, it doesn't really work that way. My where are we at?
He had a
3?
great wife too. Speaking of wives, great wife.
Who's got a great wife?
FDR. She carried.
Did she carry a lot?
She did a lot because FDR was like in a wheelchair for pretty much.
Yeah,
All
shout
the
out to Mrs. FDR.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't
Great
get
lady.
enough credit. Michael probably overlooked her, didn't think about putting her on it.
I just, obviously, she's an honorable mention.
Okay. All right. Fair. All right.
But
Actually-
since they're married, they're one. We learned that at Will's wedding. They become one.
It is a union. It is a
So,
union.
Pretty much, I'm saying her by saying FDR. So
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's good. I like that. It's a
Thank you.
union. It's a union between the two.
Yeah.
Speaking of wives, mothers, that association. This is the second mother on my list. And the beauty about this mom is that she can really be anybody. She doesn't have a face. She's not someone that you immediately think of a single person. It's more of an idea of a concept. And it's an American concept that I think a lot of people have clung to for a while. So my number 3 American of all time would be Stacy's mom. Stacy's mom is my number 3. Cue the music. Actually, don't, because we're gonna get copyrighted. But I think Stacy's mom, as an idea, as a concept, revolutionized the idea of moms and gave them a greater respect for our generation. So shout out to moms and shout out to Stacy.
She's got it
specifically
going
for
on.
her mom. She's got it going on.
And all I ever wanted.
Yeah, that's what's up.
I've waited for so long.
Waited for so long.
God, Stacy, can't you see?
You're just not. Stacy's not the one for me. but Stacy's mom. Yeah, Stacy's
So,
mom.
do you think if you ever married someone named Stacy,
No, I couldn't. I
do
would
you
marry
think you
Stacy's
would be able to
mom.
do it because of this song, because Stacy's mom?
Yeah, 100%.
I
So
think
Couldn't
sorry,
marry a Stacy.
I could not marry a
But
Stacy.
would you be more likely or inclined to name your daughter Stacy so you could say that about your wife?
That's a great question. And it means no one's gonna marry my daughter because no man will
Yeah.
ever be good enough for my daughter. So
Yeah.
that's a win-win on my part. Maybe
win-win.
that's a good idea.
2 birds, 1 stone.
Yeah, name my kid
Yeah,
Stacy.
add it to the baby name list.
I'll let it right now. That's a good one. I
you.
am actually gonna add that to my list.
Yeah, I kind of just thought of that on the spot, and I was like, wow, damn, that's actually a great reason for naming your daughter
And
Stacy.
If you're a dude out there and you act like you don't have a list of baby names either in the back of your head or actually written down, you're lying. You're lying.
I don't.
You don't?
Yeah.
No.
I got
no
skirt,
list.
skirt.
No list.
That's crazy.
Cereal.
You'll get there eventually.
I have some weird lists though.
You got some weird lists.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Talking to the mic too. What's your weird? I want to hear one of your
wanna
weird
hear
lists.
some of my weird lists?
Yeah, give me some weird lists. Well, add this one.
Just the name of it though. Don't get into the
Yeah.
list.
Give me the title of the weird list,
The
and then
title,
we'll see if we want to hear the rest.
Well, it's a Christmas list actually.
What? Just Christmas? What do you mean?
Yeah.
How is that weird?
First,
Your
well,
wish list?
some of the stuff on it's a little unique.
What is the What is the list?
You said you didn't want to go in depth. I mean,
Wait, like, is it stuff you want for Christmas? Like, what do you mean Christmas? You can't say I have a weird list and say it's a Christmas list.
this was the first list I found, and it's a unique list.
Can we say it?
I have a numbers list too.
What do you?
I do my favorite numbers.
Okay, I
on
want
the
to
list.
hear the Christmas list. Go quick. Go
My
quick.
Christmas list.
Yeah.
So, okay, yeah, I'll read it to you.
What is
Okay,
this?
so the first thing on there is one of the little Humvees that you can like ride around as a little kid. The little ones though.
Okay, so these are things you want for Christmas.
Yeah, these are things.
Okay, all right, great. Continue.
How's that weird?
That's
How's
not
that
a weird list at all. That's a very normal list.
Well,
It's weird that you haven't sent it to the channel already.
That's arguably the number one
Santa
list
didn't
people
give me
make.
anything on this. That's why it's a little strange.
That's the first list you ever make as a kid.
That's probably a least weird list. I would say if we did a top 10 list of least weird list. Wow,
normal
that's
list.
fun
Normal
fucking
list. That's
list.
number one. Yeah.
I think
a
that's the
ton
number one
fucking list,
unweird
dude.
list.
That's the number one list.
Yeah.
Maybe date ideas is it's a unique.
You have a
list.
date ideas? That's
Oh yeah, I got.
These
it.
are normal lists, Hudson. These are the most normal lists.
You want to hear my pickup line list?
All right, let's hear a few pickup lines.
You must eat Lucky Charms because you're magically delicious.
Nice.
Overplayed.
My love for you is like diarrhea. I can't hold it in.
Boo, that sucks.
Did you fart? You blew me away.
Want to hear mine?
Yeah, you go.
Is your name Lightning? Because I'm trying to make you McQueen. Ka-chow. You gotta do the
The
ka-chow.
ka-chow just got me.
Yeah.
I'm in a different place now.
Yeah. Hide your kids, hide your wives. All right, yeah. Those were the
sorry
most
about my
normal
bad
list of
list,
all
yeah.
time. That was
And
ridiculous.
those are definitely I think all of those make top 10 of corniest pickup lines ever.
Yeah.
But
Well, and what's crazy is like you
Hey, bro.
had a weird brain, Huddy. I don't think that's offensive to say. You have a weird brain. So I was expecting some weird lists. Those are the most normal list of all
Yeah.
time.
pretty-
Like literally could not be more normal. But all right, anyways, Michael, what's your number 4? Are we on 4?
no, I just said 4.
3. I said my 3 is Stacy's mom.
Okay, you said 3. Okay. My number 3. Okay, yeah. My number 3. Going back on the inventor train. This man is so famous that his name is kind of like, I guess, is it a noun or adjective? It's like now a noun or wait. Yeah, it's a noun to describe somebody that is smart. Like the man was so smart and invented so many things and was such a great like brain that people call him like, oh, you're an Einstein. Like Albert Einstein is like, I think pretty notable. I think everybody knows the name in America. I think that will continue to last for generations to come. Yeah, I mean, he fucking did crazy things for the country and for the world. That's why, I think he not only influenced a lot of America, but I mean, the man kind of has influence all over the world. And to call him our own as an American, I think it's pretty fucking sick. And I'm glad to call him American.
This is gonna be a tough one to hear.
This might be tough for you to hear, Michael. I think Hudson and I are about to say the same thing. Do you know where Albert Einstein was born? You don't have to look it up. Yeah, you don't have to look it up. We can tell you for you because I think Hudson just looked it up too.
Yeah,
It would
okay.
be Germany.
It was Germany.
Yeah,
So
He died.
but he's a citizen of the United States.
true. No, you're
Yeah.
right. Again. So I'm
We
just trying to
take
poke
him in.
holes.
See, I don't like how you're coming at me because I think legal immigration should 100% be a valid thing. And I think if you're saying and you're hating on the Einstein pick, you're saying not only that, you're hating on immigration into
You're
America.
grandstanding here now, Michael. You're hyperboling.
Hating on immigration into America. And if you can't do that, if someone can't legally become an American and do great things for our country and the world, what's wrong?
There's nothing wrong with that. I was just pointing out a fact that I didn't know that you knew, and I think you can agree right now. You did not know that up until I
I did
told
not
you.
know that, but I know he's an American citizen.
Good,
I
and
don't care where you're born.
no, and you
You're an
spin
American
zoned it
citizen, I
correctly.
accept you as my own.
Yeah, you spin zoned it correctly. Well done. I was just pointing out a fact and
He was
doing my due
actually a
diligence.
citizen of Germany, America, Prussia, Swiss, and Weimar, wherever.
So he
wherever
split his
Weimar is.
time.
Yeah.
He split his time.
But we claim him.
Okay, you
Great.
claim him. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, good dude.
Good pick. Good pick. Number 2, Albert Einstein. My number 2. No, 3. That was your 3. Sorry, that was your 3.
Sorry.
My 2. My number 2. I mean, this is very self-explanatory. This was a layup pick for me. I mean, it's in the name. Ever since he graced our screen in the first Avenger, it's Captain America.
Mm.
He is America. In it, like that's his whole character is Mr. Patriotic Boy. It's Chris Evans. It's Captain America. It's that entire embodiment of the character. He stands for everything we stand for, and I don't think you can get any more American than that, except for my number 1 pick. But he is the most American that we have seen in a long time. So Captain America, Chris Evans, however you want to spin zone it, but it's Captain America through and
So is
through.
it Chris Evans or Captain America?
Both, all embodiments of the character.
It's Chris Evans / Captain America.
Chris Evans / Captain America.
Graphic, is it Chris
No,
Evans?
on the graphic, it's Captain America.
Yeah.
You can whatever that comes to mind for you. It could be Chris Evans. It could be from the comics if you're a comic book reader.
Yeah, I just want to make sure it's not / Chris Evans.
No, it's not / Chris Evans.
Okay.
That would be a pander pick because he's a good looking dude,
Mm.
and all the girls would vote for him just because he's good looking, which we would never do. We would just put ourselves on the list if you want to do that.
You're getting serious, so maybe that's I don't know why. Yeah. So my number 2, we're on 2, right?
Yes, 2.
My number 2 is milk. I'm just kidding. It's MLK. That's just how you say it. That's
That was a good one.
it's
funny.
In my notes app, it auto-corrected to milk,
Ah,
and I thought that was pretty funny.
Mr.
And so-
That's a modern day Dave Chappelle joke right there. Nice.
Yeah, except it wasn't transphobic or homophobic. But yeah.
Wow.
so-
Wow. You're still on that. That's fine.
No,
All right,
no,
continue.
no.
Continue.
But
Continue.
maybe just I don't know why you're disrupting MLK. I think that's kind of disrespectful to
I was laughing at your joke. I was acknowledging
Okay.
your joke. I said it was funny.
for sure. But yeah, MLK is also I think an explanatory pick. I do think the Captain America is a good pick, and not gonna lie, I did kind of forget about him. Can't forget about Chris Evans, beautiful guy, but forgot about Captain America as a whole, I guess. He's not my favorite superhero, that's probably why. But MLK, obviously did great things. Sad to see how, I think the day he was kind of assassinated was a big day for the country, and I think he did so much in the civil rights movement where his legacy will last forever. There's a holiday. There's a holiday for a reason. American born. You can look that shit up if you want, because I know that's right.
Yeah, you're
So
right.
yeah,
Confirmed.
You're right. Confirmed.
yeah, confirm that shit. Say his hometown while you're at it.
I got you. I'll
Yeah,
find
we
it.
got Huddy. You can keep talking. We'll give you his hometown in a second.
Cole would have had it by now, Hudson.
Yeah, Cole, our other producer would have had it by now.
Man.
Or Loud.
Loud, Loud wouldn't have had it.
MLK
Yes.
was
Nah.
born in Atlanta
Born in Atlanta.
and died in Memphis. So he was in America his whole life.
Yeah, through and through. American through and through.
Dude.
Good pick. Good pick. Number 2. We're number 1 now, right?
Yeah.
So my number 1 is gonna be hit with again, similar to a lot of people on our list. This is overall value and influence on America as a country. This isn't good. This isn't bad. This is just overall influence and impact. And no one impacted America more than this man. We would not be here today if it weren't for this man. We have the same number 1?
Probably.
Maybe. It's the man who led the charge. It's the first man here, first man on the moon. And by the moon, I mean America. that would be Christopher Columbus. You can't have America without Christopher Columbus. Yes, there's a lot of baggage there. I understand there's a lot of baggage there, but there is no America without Christopher Columbus, and you can't take that away. This land still stands for freedom, and you can't take that away. Christopher Columbus, first American,
Okay.
not the best American, but the first American, and you can't have.
Okay.
Actually, no, he is the best American because he's the first.
Uh,
That was why he's number one on my list. Anyways, yeah, he's the number one because he was there. He was the first one here. We aren't here without him. So cause and effect, number one, Christopher Columbus.
Hudson.
Yep.
Since you so kindly looked up Albert Einstein's.
Yeah, see, I'm looking at
Christopher
this right now.
Look up Christopher Columbus's.
He actually born in Italy, right?
How could he be born here?
Then proceeded to die in Spain. He wasn't even an American enough to stay in
He
America.
And when did he
discovered.
die? Hey, Hudson, when did he die?
A little bit before we were all born. He died
What
in
year?
1506.
1506. When was America founded, Hudson? Do you know off the top of your head?
The piece of paper. I've been over this before. Declaration of Independence, overrated as hell. It's the most overrated piece of paper of all time. America was found when Columbus was here. He is America.
So did Christopher Columbus do anything bad? Like, I feel like,
A lot of bad things.
okay, like,
But when he sailed that ocean blue in 1692,
He did do that.
he discovered a land that would soon become our home. That's like in 200 years from now when we're living on the moon, people are still going to look at Neil Armstrong as Christopher Columbus figure. Was it our home then? No. Was it America yet? No. But he still was there. He was still the first one there, and it's still important. The most important, I would argue. So it's the Neil Armstrong moon comparison. When we're colonized the moon in 200 years, people are gonna be like, "Oh, Neil Armstrong, you're the man." Same way we look at Christopher Columbus, you're the man.
Neil Armstrong, he's not a bad dude though, is he?
No.
All I remember about him is
Boilermaker.
yeah, he's just a national hero.
Yeah, I'd agree.
All right.
Christopher Columbus killed a lot of people.
What's your number one, Michael?
Okay. So first, let's decide. After I say my number one, I'm gonna do my honorable mentions, and then you're gonna do
All right,
yours.
and then I'll do mine.
Okay.
And we'll put these on the graphic. I think we should put the honorable mentions on the graphic.
Yeah. So I'm gonna limit my honorable mentions to two. I say two. Or you
Oh.
want to go three?
3. I have 3.
Three. Okay.
Yeah, 3 max.
I can do three.
Okay.
3 max. That works. So my number one. It's a little different route than Christopher Columbus. He did not sail
The ocean blue.
the ocean blue. But he was kind of a big deal.
I'd hope so.
He is the number one.
Yeah. Some would call him pretty honest,
Ooh.
and others would just call him Abe. Get it? Not Abe. Abraham Lincoln. Arguably top president of all time. Kind of, crazy. He fucking abolished slavery, which I think is like pretty sick.
Good.
Yeah,
Great
that's pretty
dude.
chill.
Emancipation Proclamation. Arguably one of the best things for this country.
And a fun name. Fun to
Uniting
say.
it. Yeah. and a
Honest
fun
Abe.
name. Just absolutely great person. I don't think you've ever heard anything bad about him. Maybe you have, but you probably don't because it's so overshadowed by how much good he does. America would not be the same as it is right now without Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah.
That is a fact. He did amazing things for our country, and so that's why he's my number one. I think he's the best American of all time.
He started a new party actually.
He started what?
He started the Republican Party.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So is he responsible for all the actions of the Republican Party?
Um
I'm trying to bury
I don't
Michael
know.
into a
So,
hole.
so is Christopher Columbus responsible then for all the
All
actions
of
of, I
America.
don't know, his men and killing Native Americans and doing
I
other
know there's a lot of baggage there. I know. I'm
stuff.
aware. I'm
It's
aware.
PG.
I'm
Okay.
aware of the baggage.
Okay. My honorable mentions.
Wait, I want to say one thing about Abraham Lincoln. We can't ignore the fact that he was murdered and shot and killed,
yeah, that was
which I think
brutal.
adds to his legacy. Because I've always said, a wise man once said, if you don't have haters, you don't have fans. If you don't have
Yeah.
haters, you don't have fans. So
And he has one of the most remarkable deaths of like all time.
yeah, like one of those notable deaths.
Yeah, movie theater. I was at that movie theater. I've been to there on my
You were there that night?
no, but I've been to I saw, what was that museum? What's the theater called?
Ford Theater.
Ford Theater.
I'm
And you
smart.
Get, and they have
People
like
don't give me enough credit for being smart. That was a great poll on my part.
cool. My number 2 is also assassinated. Okay, so even my first mention.
Pause. You're lagging
These
like
are
crazy.
no particular
Pause.
order.
Pause.
No
Pause.
particular order.
Pause. I'm gonna cut this. You were just lagging a lot. Whatever you're
Okay.
just saying, say it. No, you're fine. Just say
Okay.
it again. So yeah.
All right, so my honorable mentions in no specific order. Just honorable mentions. Didn't make the cut, but they were close. First, Joey. I saw what he did today. Everybody sees what he does every single July 4th. He officially set the most for like one single event has the most championships for the Nathan's hot dog eating contest. That's insane. Just a remarkable athlete. Not only hot dogs, but he does that with any MLE thing. He has crazy records, some really cool hard-boiled egg records, some stuff like that. So definitely, I think he deserves it. And especially when that protester came up on stage today. I don't know if you saw. He fucking like snapped the dude's neck.
Yeah, it was
took him down.
crazy. He just
That was
murdered a kid.
And he still won by 20 hot dogs.
Unreal.
By
Like,
20
what
hot
the
dogs.
fuck? How does nobody come close? That's got to be actually impressive. Like how nobody else can come. Like there are guys so much younger than him. Like how is nobody coming closer to him? I don't know.
He's
Maybe-
won the contest 7 consecutive times and 15 of the last 16 years.
Who did
Yeah,
he lose to? Or did he just not compete?
I don't think he competed.
Yeah, I don't
that
think
year.
he competed 1 year.
Yeah. But yeah, and he had a fucking bum leg today too.
Yeah,
That
he
insane.
was crippled. Yeah,
Yeah, that is.
Killer, stone cold.
and underrated part about him, he lives in the greatest city in the world, Westfield, Indiana. He literally lives right down the road.
No way.
Yeah, that's a fun fact. I'm looking at Joey Chestnut's house out my window right now. He
Yeah.
literally- kind of.
Why didn't you invite him last night?
Yeah, he didn't. He
Busy?
couldn't make it. He was busy.
no,
he was
he's
busy
busy.
prepping for
63
the
hot dogs.
63 hot dogs he ate today, so he couldn't make it
That's
to
a
our
couple
July
calories.
3rd party. But
Okay,
yeah,
so
he
my
does live in
second-
Westfield, which is crazy. So he's just I see him around town all the time.
My second honorable mention is Mark Cuban. This is kind of a futures pick
Future
because I'm seeing what he's starting to do great things. Obviously, he's a great entrepreneur. He's a great business owner, great investor, everything like that. But he's trying to transform it, like how the healthcare system is set up in America. I don't know if you know, but he like owns this company that sells crazy expensive drugs to like people that are in need of this shit. And he hasn't gotten over to like insulin with diabetics and everything, but he sells it for like $10. That is normally $200 something, which that does wonders, I'm sure, for like a bunch of people in America. And he doesn't make like barely anything off the business. Like he honestly probably loses money from it, but he's he's probably losing a shit ton of money from it. But he's doing it out of the kindness of his heart, trying to transform, I guess, the healthcare system in America. And I think he's gonna keep doing things like that. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets into politics later on. I don't know. He's still got a lot left to do, a lot left to accomplish, I'm sure.
Another good pick.
It's a good pick. Yeah, and I think he's a little
The
too.
downside is he went to IU, so that's the only downside.
He's a little too sane to be like run for office. I think he's got too smart of a head on his shoulders.
Yeah,
you-
he probably doesn't want that. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to be crazy. I've always said like you have to be a complete psychopath to want to be the president of the United States. So I don't think he has that in him.
And
but
then-
yeah, great dude.
My third honorable mention, we kind of talked about him, but he's not an IU Hoosier. He's actually the opposite. He's a pretty Boilermaker. And so my last honorable mention is myself. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. My last honorable mention is Neil Armstrong.
Yeah.
Kind of like what you said, trailblazer in terms of
American hero.
astronomy. Yeah, American hero. Everything like that. And I do think though, Buzz Aldrin and the third guy, what's his name? Who's the third guy in it?
Is just
I think his
the
name
third
is
guy.
Michael.
He's just the third guy.
Yeah,
The other
third
guy.
I think they do deserve more credit. I'm sure they did so much, probably equal work as Neil Armstrong. And I think Neil Armstrong does get pretty much not all the credit, but a lot of the credit for it. So I do think they deserve equal credit, but Neil Armstrong's the leader and more famous one. So
Yeah.
Neil Armstrong.
That's a good pick. My honorable mentions, I'll run through them pretty quickly here. Number 1, I have Mark Wahlberg. Strictly for the one quote we've talked about it on the show before, where again, I'm paraphrasing, but pretty much the quote was, if he was on a plane during 9/11, things would have gone down differently. So that quote alone is just an absurd quote to say, but the fact that he has that much patriotism and that much belief in himself that he could just change the events of 9/11. Shout out to Mark
Insane.
Wahlberg for that. Just an insane man. And also his schedule, like, you know, his like morning schedule where he like wakes up at 4 o'clock every day. That trends like once a month. It's always trending on Twitter. And I think that's just hilarious because like bullshit. There's no way. But yeah, I think he's as American as they come. A little Boston, a little edge to him. Like a modern day Rocky who doesn't box and makes movies. That's how I describe Mark Wahlberg. My other honorable mention, Jesse Owens, who I thought you were going with the athlete. I mean, that takes some balls. He went over to Germany in the midst of World War and was like, you know what? I'm going to put a big old middle finger up in Adolf Hitler's face, the big Hitler man. Middle finger you. I'm going to run faster than everyone. And you do it and you win the gold.
The double bird, if you will.
The double bird, as you might say. But yeah, I mean, that takes some serious balls. I could never. I'm also slow, so I could never do that.
That's also why you couldn't.
And then the other athlete I want to put on my honorable mentions is Alex Caruso. I just think he's a funny dude, and like he's like the most basic American, but also living the American dream of playing in the NBA. He's just a basic white dude, and he's just also in the NBA, and everyone loves him. So Alex Caruso is an honorable mention American. I think he's just like a stereotypical like
sneaky athletic.
Yeah, sneaky athletic, and just like
some bounce.
you look at him, you're like, this American dude. That's just a good old fashioned. Like he could be a suburban dad and
From Texas, right?
Yeah, I went to the A&M, so I'm assuming he's from Texas. He just looks like a suburban dad who just happens to be in the NBA.
I mean, he's a stone cold killer.
Yeah, he's got bounced out the gym. So yeah, again, just
I think
Nicknamed the Bald Mamba.
What?
What would you say, Heidi?
He's nicknamed the Bald Mamba.
Bald Mamba. Yeah.
I think he's in the same category as White Mamba, Brian Scalabrine,
Mhm.
Hunter Renfro, the guys that if you see
Yeah.
on the street, you're probably just like, that guy doesn't play in the NFL or NBA, but they're dogs. They're
Yeah.
straight dogs. Straight.
I think Steve
cold-blooded.
Nash was the trailblazer
Yeah,
for
but
them.
Steve Nash was Canadian.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
sadly.
Yeah, it's tough.
I feel like I would claim him though. as
We could
American.
claim him if we wanted to, but I think we're good. We got Caruso.
I think the trailblazer might be Kurt Rambis. I don't know if you've seen pictures
Kurt
of him with fucking
Rambis.
goggles and shit.
Yeah.
Like did not look. I guess everybody kind of looked like that back in the day.
Or the
Like,
Waltons.
70s
So
playing basketball. They all look like they all look like they pretty much didn't play, but
Yeah, fair enough. All right. I think that's our list. The graphics will be up tomorrow as of Wednesday, because we're filming this Monday, but it's coming out Tuesday. So tomorrow the graphic will be up on Twitter. Make sure you vote. Again, can't stress this enough. This is a big week. This is game 6. We're doing a best of 7 series here. Michael is up 3-2 after 5. If I win this week, we are forced to game 7 next week, a showdown for the ages. Or if Michael wins this week, I will be punished next week on the show. And I'm not looking forward to that. So please vote for me. I think my list is great. I'm sure Michael. Yeah. So go vote. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. But yeah, go vote. Love y'all. Peace.